Hello everybody, Tim here. Just wanted to share a quick video of the progress we're making on the basement. I know I'm taking my time, but I think I've got quite a lot done, even considering that. So, never done a video on a cell phone before, so excuse all the jitteriness or bouncing around or whatever. I'll do the best I can. So, stand by and I'll get over to the basement. Okay, so we had an exterior entrance installed here. We had you can see this narrower portion of the sidewalk. That was all the way to the backyard to start with, but we had that taken out and a big old hole dug, and had this exterior entrance installed. Cut through the basement wall, 8-inch thick concrete, and had a retaining wall put in, the steps put in. So here you can see that, and we just installed this railing the other week, keep people from falling down here. So down the stairs we go to the exterior entrance, and we're going to enter the basement through the future apartment. Before I get all the way down there, I just want to point out that little drain right there. That drain we had to install because we don't have a roof over the stairway yet. So if we get weather, we needed a way to get rid of the water. So that goes to a sump pump that I installed below the slab of the basement, buried in the ground. And that pumps water out and it works really well. After we get the roof built, it'll be used for if we want to hose off the stairs or the walls, or whatever. This is the entrance door, but this is a temporary door. We'll use this for a storage shed later, but the permanent door will have glass panes. It's about 2/3 down from the top to about 2/3 down to allow as much light as we can into the basement. So going in, we enter the living room of the apartment, and hopefully we can get some focus here. There we go. This is a decent sized room, 13 by 13, 14, something like that. The basement is divided into thirds, and they're all 13 feet wide. So a lot of these rooms are 13 by whatever. Framing is all done in the whole project, with the exception of a few soffits that I have yet to do. And you can see I would need to build soffits to cover the HVAC ducting and this black sewer line here, as well as water supply plumbing. And again, this is the living room. In the kitchen, go straight into the kitchen here. And what we have is kitchen sink. Well, let's start over here in the corner. Cabinets in the corner, going across to the kitchen sink cabinet, and then dishwasher, and then cabinets all the way over to this little pony wall here. And again, as you can see, there's exposed ducting and plumbing. I still have to build the soffits for that. Right there, that white pipe, that is where the hot and cold water was tapped into to serve the kitchen and bathrooms and so on down here. It's copper that I soldered into the existing plumbing, and then converted that to PEX, which is the white pipe. So over here on the opposite side of the kitchen, starting in the corners, cabinets, and then a stove, a range, and then the refrigerator will go over here in the other corner. You can see the ice maker hookup right there. Okay, so from here, we'll go back into the living room, and from the living room, there is a door into the bedroom. And so we're now in the bedroom. Turning to the right, there's the one and only window in the bedroom. Actually, the one and only window in this whole apartment, and that's required obviously because of egress. The occupant has to be able to get out in case of fire. Two ways out. One would be the front door, the other would be this window. And as you can see, there's a soffit that needs to be done there to cover that HVAC ducting. And this room also is about 13 by 13, something like that, 13 by 13. And then over here, which I have not got framed yet, but is a door that was added, that I added. And in through this door will be the closet. And again, it's not framed yet, but this closet is going to be 5 feet by about whatever the distance is over to the concrete wall there. And I got to soffit that ducting in as well. So that'll be a combination closed closet and storage, with the objective being that whoever's living down here will have plenty of storage for all their stuff, so that nothing will end up in my shop or in the garage or in the house or anything else. It could all be stored down here. To that end, we're also giving up this closet, which is was an existing closet, and it's the closet that's under the stairs that go to the upstairs of the house. Back out here, the rest of this is just going to be our storage, Christmas decorations, and other stuff that we have down here. So no finishing is going to be done in here. But what is being done in here is we're adding 2 cold air returns, one to the apartment and one to the other end of the basement, which is going to be Susan's sewing room and kind of a utility room down there. And that's what this ducting is right here. It's not done yet, but we're getting there. And they're going to connect right there. There's a cold air return, and there will be a filter, just like in any house with forced air. There's a filter that needs to be replaced. So we'll have one here and then one down in Susan and my area down there. So going back toward the living room, you take a right here, and there's pocket door frame. And you go through the pocket door, and to the left will be a linen closet. Next to that is like a utility closet where all the water is distributed, and that right there is the sump for the sewer pump. And the sewage gets ejected out that white pipe, and the black pipe is the vent for that whole system. And that gets pumped into the main sewer line up there above between the floor joists. You can see where it curves into that. And then on the left-hand side of that, I wanted to keep all this in one place, are the manifolds for water distribution. You can see the 2 lower ones with the blue pipe are cold water, and up above the red one is for hot water. And again, that's all expansion PEX, otherwise known as PEX A. And right there is where the hot and cold water come in from the rest of the house. And those are valves there, so I can turn them off if I need to do anything with them. And the 2 pipes connect. These 2 white pipes connect to the 2 valves, both hot and cold. Right now they're configured, connected together, configured to do a pressure test, and that's through that device right there. It's been holding 100 pounds of air for, I don't know, 6 days, I think, 5 or 6 days. Across from that is where the vanity is going to go. You can see the plumbing there, and the toilet flange is right there. If this thing, there it goes, it's focused now. Okay, and then next to that, I'm working on this right now, is a laundry room. It's a 4-foot wide laundry room, so it's going to be a stacked washer dryer with the washer box right there covered in the plastic bag. And then to the right of that, the dryer duct, which is what I'm working on currently. You can see I got it done all the way up into the floor joist there. Then I got to go back another 20 feet to duct it to the outside. And then across from that, turning around here, is where the bathtub shower combination is going to be right there. And it's just a standard 5-foot alcove bathtub shower. So again, that's all completed. All the waste plumbing is completed. So glad that's done. That was a big step. The framing is all completed with the exception of these soffits I've been pointing out. You can see that we looked at this one earlier. This is the one in the living room. And I'm trying to pan slow so I don't get anybody dizzy here. So we're going to exit out the kitchen here. And this doorway goes to Susan's sewing room. And this is the only connection between Susan and my part of the basement and the apartment. So to completely separate the 2 areas, we did what's called a party wall. And essentially, it's 2 walls built close together. So we've got 2x4 wall here, and then there's going to be soundproof insulation called Safe and Sound, and it's a mineral wool insulation. So we got to have 4 inches insulation in the wall, a layer of sheetrock, which you can see here, and then an 1.5 inch air gap, which you can see there, and then another wall, and in that wall would be more insulation of that same Safe and Sound stuff. So we're going to have a total of like 8 inches of insulation plus the drywall. I'm sorry, the drywall on the kitchen side right here, this piece of drywall, another wall, more insulation, and then drywall on this side. So It's how they build townhouses and condominiums to keep sound from transferring. We're in the sewing room now. And in here, the soffits are done. You see the one on the left there, the one straight ahead, and there's another long one here on the right. And it's just to hide all the plumbing and ducting and whatnot. This room is, again, the widest area is probably 13 by 12, and then the room narrows up right here to make an 11 by 12 area. So all told, it's about 20 feet by, I don't know, an average of 12, I guess it would be. And then exiting this room, I took the supporting load-bearing wall and took out a section of it, added a header up in there, all done by to engineering specifications. And we're going to put French doors in there, and they're going to be glass French doors to give it a feeling of more openness, or more opened up, and also to allow whatever light there is in here to transfer from one area to the other. Going through those French doors, we're in another little multi-purpose room. And again, you can see I need to do another soffit there against the wall. And this room is about 12 or 13 by maybe 15. We're not quite sure what the purpose of this room is, but it is going to be one available to us. And then off of that room, this little doorway here goes to a half a bath. Right there's where the vanity is going to go. And then on the other end of this, right there's where the toilet's going to go. And also we widened this door. This door was always here, but we made it 36 inches wide because this is going to go into our storage area that we saw. We were at the other end of this area. And so 36 inches wide will allow us to get larger things through here if we needed to, as opposed to a standard interior door that's 30 inches. So that's the other end down there. And the other thing that's going to be down on this end of the storage room is a cold air return for Susan's and my part of the basement. And right here is going right where that piece of plywood is, I think. It might be this bay next to it, but that's where the new electrical sub-panel is going to go that powers the basement. And then all of our cable, internet, and whatnot is all going to come in right here to be distributed throughout the whole house. The last part of this is the city is requiring that even though we're behind 8-inch concrete walls buried in the ground, that we have R19 insulation. And so what I did here was I just took the existing wall, which is this one here, and then just doubled up the studs all the way down. So now we have 7 inches, which will accommodate 7 inches of thickness, which will accommodate R19 insulation, which is 6 inches thick. And this will all be drywalled as well. And that's all really we're going to do in the unfinished portion of this part of the basement. Before I go, I just want to point out over here, I had to fur out the wall here, actually all the way around, anywhere there's a concrete wall, 3.5 inches here, and then to the stud. And that makes a total of 7 inches, 3.5 here, 3.5 here. And again, that's to accommodate the R19 insulation. And it'll be just thick enough to where it does not quite touch the concrete wall. So there's not going to be any transfer of moisture or anything like that. Not that we have a big moisture problem here anyway. When I dug the holes for those two sump containers, I'm 3 feet down below the slab of the basement, and it was just dry sand. Just no evidence of water anywhere. Anyway, so that's where I'm at. And as soon as I finish the soffits, I'll be able to get the electrician in here to do his thing. And after that, we'll have major inspections. We'll have the electrical, rough plumbing, rough HVAC, or rough mechanical is what they call it, as well as the framing inspection. I have some fire blocking to do too, but that shouldn't be too big a deal. So that's where I'm at. Do a little bit at a time, and I'm seeing light at the end of the tunnel. Thanks, everybody.